there, guys, it's your host from Brett's Review Show. Let's fire up this review. Tonight's review, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time that what I might say about it, or what I will say, I'm just going to apologize for as of right now. Take whatever I say as with a grain of salt. It's my opinion, and it's my thoughts of it so far. The Pokemon Sun and Moon anime is in not today or yesterday. Yesterday was its 30th episode. And it's nice to see that a character that in a way was afraid to touch other Pokemon is now able to not only touch and train with her own Pokemon, Shidon, the Alolan form Vulpix, and now she can get along with Ash's Pikachu and also be able to battle as well is a good improvement for her character. Really, only the battles are the only thing that are keeping me interested in the anime. And I am somewhat paying more attention to it than I did the Hoenn, Sinnoh, and Unova animes. They were really lackluster. They really didn't have a story or any real interest whatsoever. And the people who really want Sinnoh remakes and Sinnoh games are probably really going to hate me on this, but too bad. I don't care. What I hate about character designs, and well, it's mainly Ash's character design. I mentioned it before when I first seen it, that it looked really retarded. It looked really wrong. Really, he looked really dumb. And don't take what me saying a character design as being retarded as take it out of context or blow it out of proportion. I'm not making fun of anybody who has a disability in real life. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do or say that because I've worked with people who have or had or were born with a mental disability. I'm not going to make fun of that. No way in scaling hell will I make fun of that. Because in all actuality, people who do make fun of that are a bunch of crybaby idiots who don't understand how hard living with that kind of problem, mental issue problem, how hard that makes life for them. But with this character design for Ash, I can see that they wanted to go with the new character design because they decided to, with a current network or wherever they were portraying their show, wasn't working for them, and they decided to go to give the show somewhere else, to Disney or whatever, so they gave the main character a different design that showed a little bit more emotion, visual emotion, than the original design, or the design from the Kalos region, from the last region anime. And they actually should have stayed with that character design because it showed Ash's maturity and like he's really grown. And now they go to this point where he's like a total idiot. I can see that they wanted a little bit more fun or more childish action, but when they went like that, they made the episodes a lot more cringy. A lot of the episodes in Sun and Moon are cringy. They're hard to watch. They're hard to sit there and watch. So instead of just sitting there and watching the entire episode, you're skipping through until you get to the point that is actually what's more worth watching. And whatnot. With it has in a way for the current characters, with the characters that are going on right now, what they have right now. They show great, like, decent or good uh, character development, especially with Lily. Lily's a good example of that. At start, she couldn't really touch other Pokemon. She was fine with other Pokemon. She just was afraid to touch them or being touched by them. She wasn't afraid of them initially. She just couldn't touch them. Reason? Don't know why, but I bet her mother's a part of it. I like how they showed off Gladian, or Gladian, however they want to pronounce that name. And seeing that he's more of the dark kind of guy, dark, cool, emo, whatever. And he was kind of like the same in the game. He was dark, he was gloomy, he said what he wanted, he was pretty much straightforward. But in the anime, he didn't want to, show off or battle in front of his sister, in front of Lily. He wanted to keep it private, which is fine. He thinks he's protecting his sister, which is a brotherly thing, and he's the older brother, so it's acceptable. And him having the moon version of Lycanroc and having Umbreon, so he's obviously going to have Pokemon that are related to the night. So as of right now, we only know that he's got moon version Lycanroc, the werewolf version, and Umbreon. We don't know if he has any other Pokemon besides those two. Is he going to get Type Null, or has Type Null right now? Don't know. So we'll probably see Ash's Rockruff again battling his version of Lycanroc again. And if I was to go ahead and jump a little bit to the next preview where Ash and the gang meet the second island's Kahuna, and she's really fond of Ash's Rockruff, and Rockruff is fond of her son version of Lycanroc, of its evolution, because usually when you battle her, she has the other version. So I guess they want to go different with the anime, which is totally fine, and it's acceptable. And with the personalities of each character is pretty decent, to say the least. I'm going over my notes here. I mean, with Ash's maturity in the Kalos region, so far, the Kalos region anime has that intensity. It has that action that grabs you, that tense action that grabs you, the emotions that grab you, both on the action side and the romance side between Ash and Serena. And now they're giving Ash, even though he's went back to being stupid, and they're portraying him as such, he's got more like a harem now. So he's got Lily, he's got Mallow, he's got Luna. It's just it's fine, but nah. Nah. I mean, seeing Ash actually show interest in girls, we didn't really see that. There's a lot of you who probably never seen it in Kalos region, but he's shown interest in Serena in the gym battles, and some of the certain gym battles, if not all of them, especially the very first one, where she helped him. You can see that any other time he gets into a difficult situation or things get tough, he might take a quick glance, and the camera might pan towards where Ash, Bonnie, and Serena, and Bonnie are, and if one of Ash's Pokemon is there, or Shota is there, he'll take a glance at them, or mainly at Serena, and look at Serena's expression if she's worried, or she's happy, or she's confident for him. and she knows that he's going to win, and that gives him that energy, that boost of confidence to keep going. And he, the comments, the catching her at surprise, at the right moments, and at first really just basically ignoring her and her attempts of trying to seduce him or to get some attention from him, to later on, towards the end of the series, finally giving her that attention or even asking her out on a date. And he did. He might not exactly came out with the words, "Would you go out on a date?" He would just say, "Hey, you're coming with me." And he gave her no ifs, ands, or buts. You're going on a date with me. You're spending some time with me. Come here. But here in the Alola region, he's not really doing that. He's, being the guy who's more experienced with Pokemon, he's trying to help Lily. So he's being Lily's little caretaker and teacher, trying to help her. And it's funny with Luna, with Lily, with Mallow, all of them, surrounding Ash, especially when they went shopping, and Sophocles and Kawe realized what was about to happen, and it quickly disappeared. And I'm talking about the Japanese version. I have not watched the English version, English dub whatsoever. I'm not gonna watch the English dub. If I want to watch the English dub of Pokemon, I'll go all the way back to Kanto and Johto. I'm not gonna watch it through Hoenn, Sinnoh, and Unova. I'm not gonna do that, or even Kalos. I'll go straight to the Japanese version. That's my preference. But with certain characters, that out of all these characters, I could see Kawe being the traditional guy. He's traditional, he plays the cool, and he's a bit got of a sister complex for his little sister. He's a bit overprotective. Mallow, she's a great cook. She comes up with weird recipes that work. But she has a scary side to her. We seen it when she called Ash out when he went to work with another girl besides those three that's in his class. And it's just, a lot of the episodes were really cringy and hard to watch. The battles were interesting. I'm not going to give it a really good rating. As of right now, I'm not going to give it a bad rating. I could tell you that it's better than, which is probably another reason where a bunch of people are going to hammer on me about this, but I'm going to say it's better than Unova, better than Sinnoh, better than Hoenn regional animes than those, because in a way it really does have a story, and hopefully it gets better as it continues. So it's just, I was like, I have mixed feelings about it. I see some potential in it, but they really need to do a better job of, with the cringy episodes, because there's a lot of cringy. And yeah, we could see, if you slow down and maybe pause it, you can maybe see Ash taking a little glimpses, like showing some interest still in girls when he really has no experience really with girls in any way, or in a dating sense, he really has no idea. But in a way, when it went to Kalos, the only one he can really sit down and talk to about how he really felt. Didn't you find it strange that Serena was the only one he could really sit there, besides Pikachu? Person-wise, person-wise, he could really sit there with Serena and have an emotional conversation with her. He was scared of Greninja's power, the bond phenomenon. He was scared of it. He didn't know what to do with it. But with that, it made him stronger. It made him and Greninja's connection even stronger. It made them both stronger. Yeah, it was sad that he had to release it along with Gudra again, but that was part of the story. It's quite obvious he had to release Greninja. Will we see Greninja again? Possibility. Probably no. Same thing with Serena. Well, since they kept bringing people, especially the female companion, back to visit Ash and whatever, there's a good possibility we'll be seeing Serena in the Alola region. I really don't see a reason why, because especially out of all the characters, I mean, it seems like everybody seems to like it. I mean, Papa Leo was getting a lot of rap. You know, nobody liked it. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people used it when Sun Moon came out. Whether it be, especially with Litten and Rowlet. But it where people would talk so much trash about Papa Leo, then all of a sudden the trash talk and the rude comments about Papa Leo and its design and its feminine final evolutionary form to Sophocles and his character and his personality. I don't see a real reason why you would want to make fun and talk shit about a little kid who's an inventor. I wouldn't say an inventor, I'd say he's more like a scientist, more or less, than an actual inventor, because he's always doing research. With Clement, from the past generation, he was just a gym leader and an inventor. He would come up with things, build them, and then they'd blow up afterwards. Not all of them worked as well as they probably should have. But with this guy, with this little kid, this little chubby kid is getting so much crap. I really don't see why. He's just a fictional character. He's not real. And yet he's getting so much crap as if he is real, that he's a big chubby crybaby. I mean, these are just some of the comments and some of the things that I've seen in the comments and all over the place, that people were giving this kid, this Sophocles kid, in the Sun and Moon anime so much crap. I mean, I could see. I really don't think Ash was actually when he was battled Hala. I literally, when I seen the fact that Tapu Koko, bleh, I flubbed there a little bit, flew by so quickly that he took the fighting Z Crystal and placed the electric, another electric Z Crystal there. So it would be given to Ash again, because he wants Ash to have the electric Z Crystal. So that's why. I don't think he's going to end up with a fighting type Pokemon in the Alola region. I think just like with Kalos and just like with Unova, he's only going to catch 4 or 5 Pokemon. And he's already got 3 Alolan Pokemon. So he only has the option of getting 2 more Pokemon. So we really don't know what other Pokemon he's going to get, and we don't know yet when Rowlet, or if Rowlet is ever going to evolve based on its personality and how it acts. because pretty much in almost every single episode it's sleeping. Um, it's hardly ever ready to battle. But it has a ghostly nature because why? It's an ornery little fart. It always sneaks up on Ash when you least expect it. And which, when in that battle against Tala, Ash realized that he kept on, like, he was frustrated with Rowlet, and realized, hey, what Rowlet always does to me, I can use that in battle. Oh, holy crap, it worked. But it seems like Rowlet, in a way, it's a good Pokemon. But it has a problem, it sleeps too much. And probably and ends up in the case that Ash ends up training it so little because he lets it sleep all the time. And so when it goes to battle, it overexerts itself and uses too much energy, which causes it to go to sleep during battle. And with Litten's story is a sad one. We don't know if Litten had a trainer, or if it just stuck beside Stoutland, the old Stoutland, for as long as possible, and then Stoutland pretty much raised it, just like Toucannon pretty much raised Rowlet. And the scene with probably the saddest scenes ever that we've currently seen in Sun and Moon, or as of right now in Pokemon, because everybody was saying, and it was kind of trending, that one of the saddest scenes that they've seen, and probably in all of Pokemon, is when Stoutland passed away. And seeing Litten react, and what happened with Litten, and how sad it was. And it's crying, and Ash and Pikachu being there, and Rowlet being there, and seeing that. Rockruff being there. And it also seems very quickly that, in a way, when you in the animes, like, they seem to get along with other Pokemon very well. And in last week's episode, Ash very well could have caught that Pokemon, that little mushroom Pokemon. He could have really caught that because he was that interested in it. It seemed like he was really that interested that he really made friends with that Pokemon, that he really wanted to catch it. But he probably would have only trained it to be more of a grass type than a fairy type, because I think if I remember right, it's a grass fairy type. It's when it comes to that anime, it's really hard to just sit there. That's what I want to emphasize on. It's really hard to sit there and watch that. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I got the camera I'm using records for almost an hour. And I don't want to sit here for a full hour, but I didn't want to go through from the start all the way to episode 30 and have 30 episodes done, when I could record what it currently is as of right now and give my opinion on it. And that's one of the things that other people would agree with me is that the main character's design and how they portray that character, how they love to basically screw that character right up the butt multiple times every time they get a chance. Like with Kalos, with the Kalos leak, portraying throughout the entire X and Y and X and YZ series that this possibly or would be Ash's final journey for the time being, finally becoming a champion and of the league, and maybe moving on to battle Diantha again to be the official champion of Kalos. But no, they didn't want to do that. And guess what? Us here in America you know what? We weren't the only ones pissed off. The people in the fans in Japan were just as pissed off, if not more, than we were. Because even they understood. They would love to see their favorite character in the Pokemon franchise that's been going on for 20 flipping years, that he would finally win. That he would finally win. And let me tell you this. When it comes to the end of this series, Sun and Moon, all the way towards the end, then they're most likely going to do it again. They're going to either give it to Gladion as of right now. They're either going to give it to Gladion, because we're going to see him a lot, eventually. And either Hollow's grandson will make an appearance at some point, maybe, if he ever does. And if he does, they're probably going to give it to him. Because it's going to be a three-way go. A three-way battle royale. Ash, Hollow, or Hollow's grandson, Hal, or Hugh, or whoever, what the hell, and Gladion. It's going to be between those three. And take your pick, because it most likely isn't going to be Ash. I can tell you that much right now. They're going to keep doing this, because they want to milk it out. They want to milk it out. Eventually, hey writers, you're going to have to move on. You're going to have to move on from this, because you've been doing that for 20 years. You can't milk it out for so much, another 20 more years. Because even the younger generation, after having to see it for 1 year, 2 years, up to 5 years, or even another 10 to 20 years, they're going to get old. It's going to get old. I know that they want to refocus on the young generation, which is why they want to make the main character still the same age. And even though with this new game, new region, that the only way you can take part in the Island Challenge is if you're 11 years old. Oh no, finally within 20 years, Ash is going to grow 1 year old. Which, in other actuality, he should be an adult by now, but what the hell? It just irks me. I mean, you guys could probably, agree with me as well that it's either you like it or you don't, or you just want to sit there and you want to watch it and see how good it is and see, whether it's worth it or not. As of right now, I really don't think Sun and Moon is really worth watching. This is so cringy. Pokemon Generations is it would be a much better to watch than this. But, hell, going back to the very start, watching the Kanto and the Johto again would be much better than watching this, or better than watching the Hoenn and Sinnoh and Unova again. And yeah, don't get me started on Unova, because that was the biggest fucking insult to the whole entire Pokemon franchise, in my opinion. Yeah. I'm not being very nice, am I? I'm being pretty much straightforward here, as I want to be straightforward with you guys, and this is my absolute opinion. I don't think it's worth watching. But am I going to keep watching it? Yeah. Because at least hopefully the battles will be more interesting and much better to watch than all the cringiness and all the other bull episodes. You know? Yeah. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate from Sinnoh region fans or Hoenn region fans or whatever. Especially Sinnoh. But, I guess if I was to bring this up, they wouldn't be making a movie that's not canon called Pokemon I Choose You. That's kind of like Pokemon Generations, where you kind of see at the beginning what goes on in between when Ash first got Pikachu, and then seeing the new characters and seeing an Incineroar with a trainer that's going to be a total dick. If it's okay for me to say that, because most likely what's going to be to happen, because the guy's going to be the bad guy. And seeing a Piplup travel with Ash and Pikachu, and seeing a Marshadow. Yeah. And 2 other trainers that aren't Brock and Misty. Yeah, that's traveling with Ash. If I was to say anything about Sinnoh remakes, they're not coming out this year, so quit whining. If they do plan on making them, it probably won't be until next year. So, shut up. Stop whining about it. That's what I gotta say about that. If they plan on making a Sinnoh remake, they'll do it on their own time. And if that does happen, like I said, it's probably gonna happen next year. If it don't happen, then we'll probably see a new game next year. If not, who knows? Who really knows? And all the bitching and whining ain't gonna get you anywhere. You should know that by now. It's not gonna get you anywhere. But I said I wasn't gonna give this a real good rating. I said I wasn't gonna give this a whole bad rating. But I originally thought out that I would give it a 7 out of 10, which ain't bad, but it ain't good. But I'm actually going to drop that down a notch, and I'm actually going to give it somewhere on the in-between, because it's only 30 episodes as of right now. It's funny, I was thumbing through the past at the creator of Pokemon. One of the says that Ash is going to get his design that he had from the Kalos region. You know, he's going to get that back. No, he's not. He's not going to get that back. He just said that just to make everybody think that. Man, I'm being so rude right now. But I have to, because I've got mixed feelings about it, and I want to. It might seem like a little bit of a rant, but this is my whole review of it. I mean, the episodes you can't sit there and watch. You literally can't sit there and watch without the cringiness. I mean, it's like you gotta skip through the episodes to see what's you want to sit there and watch, or if anything's actually going to be worth it. I mean, the rating I'm going to give it is a 6.5 out of 10. That's the rating I'm going to give it. It's not good, it's not bad, it's in the middle pretty much. That's what I'm going to give it. Others want to say you want to give it a low rating or give it a little bit higher rating than that. That is your opinion, just like this one is. This is a video to make up 30 videos of each episode that I probably would have had to do. But, like I said at the start of videos, like apology, if anybody would get upset. But take it with a grain of salt. This is my opinion of the overall review of 1 through 30 episodes of Pokemon Sun and Moon. I mean, just think about it. You're a character that shows such maturity. Yeah, he has moments where he falls back down in a hole, and it takes someone like Serena to get him out, pull his head out of his butt. Maybe throw some snowballs in his face or whatever, but I'd rather see a slap. But having him show that much confidence, that much maturity, to going from that to be even one of the heroes of Kalos, and also saving the world, to going on vacation and becoming a total doofus. How irritating is that? How sad is that? But anyway, guys, that's all that I want to say right now. That's all what I have for you as of right now. Now it's time to cool down and look forward for the next review. Peace.